Welcome to today's podcast. Today's title is Meet the Judges. We're still getting ready for the Domestic Cleaning Business Industry Awards. And today, Diane and I have been joined by one of the judges, Beckie Kelsey. And Beckie, you run Bath Specialist Cleaning Solutions. Tell us more. What does your business do?
Okay, so we're mainly a domestic company. We have just rebranded because of some training that we've done within the company and moved in a different direction. But we are solely, mainly domestic cleaners, specialising in end of tenancies and commercial contracts.
Amazing. You've got quite a big team with you there, haven't you?
Yeah, on average, most days we have around 35.
And one of the things that's been quite interesting is your journey. So you've just rebranded, but you've been in the cleaning industry quite a while, haven't you?
A long time. So I come straight out of school at 15, straight into, which was my mum's company solely at the time, straight into, doing the skirting boards for her at £2.50 an hour and the things, just the things I could go and help her with. And yeah, stayed here ever since and worked my way up the ladder to being an equal owner with her now.
And is your mum still in the business?
Yes. So we're 50-50. She doesn't have any involvement with the FDA running anymore at all. She's basically retired, but she's still one of the owners.
35 staff. I want to know more about that. How do you manage a team that size?
I have had to get help along the way with that. So it's, impossible for me to do that alone anymore. So I have got 2 members of office staff as well that help me with that. But it's being really clear on systems and, having systems in place to be able to manage that, because it wouldn't be manageable without proper systems in place.
No. And you seem to do it in a relatively stress-free way then. Is that purely because of the systems or are you paddling underneath?
I've just learned along the way that I can sit and stress over it, but it isn't going to change the situation. So now I don't get so stressed over it. I'm just like, right, let's do this, let's do that. We can't sit and stress over this. It's out of our control. Let's just find a way to deal with it.
Brilliant advice for anybody else as well in the industry. That really good.
And I'm surprised, Diane, you're not asking what her favourite system is, because you love systems, don't you?
I love a systemised business. Yeah, absolutely.
The thing that I brought into the company to be the biggest game changer for me would have 100% been Jobber. And the way that systemizes everything for me, to the schedules for the staff, for their checklist, for the office taking the bookings, invoices, 100% Jobber was a game changer for us.
Yeah, so just one piece of software can just make such a difference.
So, Beckie, I've been watching you over the last year and you have invested very heavily in a lot of training, haven't you? Tell us more. What is it that you've been doing, and tell us more about it?
Yeah, so I started back last August with training, which I, went on my very first training course then. I think that probably comes as well, coming out of school at 15, no GCSEs. And I just wanted to improve myself and the company. And that starts from the top down. So I needed to do those training courses before I could give it to the staff. And, there's so many cleaners popping up here, there and everywhere. I knew that we had to be better and, what we do needed to be really good. And without the training, I couldn't be better than them. So I, invested a lot of time and money into training, not just one course. I don't think you can just go and do one course and you're going to be a specialist. I did them all.
So you have been doing biohazard, haven't you?
We have, yes.
And that's a bit of a change of direction for your business, isn't it?
A real change in direction. And, it takes a lot of training and a lot of, that's just a whole different ball game that we could be here all day talking about. That is something that needs to be taken very seriously, not just one training course and you're a biohazard cleaner. It needs to be done properly and professionally.
And it's a lot of investment in obviously the setup and things. But anyway, we're going to move on, because on top of how busy you are doing all these training courses and running a big size business there, you also volunteered to be a judge. What prompted you to volunteer?
I did. So I originally seen the post and I can remember very clearly, I wrote some notes. So that it said about public speaking. I was like, oh no, this one, I would love to be a judge, but I've never done any public speaking. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to drop a message anyway and see where it goes. So the reason I wanted to is because the cleaning industry is all I know. It's all I've ever done. And I just love the fact that businesses are recognised for what they do, and the ones that really do it properly with staff training and the way they invest into their business. I just wanted to be part of judging that, really.
Amazing. And so you're focusing a lot on training. What specifically, because there's quite a few questions that have involved training. There's one quite a bit about training, isn't there? When we talked about best employer, it says, how do you train your staff? What is it you're looking for from a good applicant? What do you think would make someone stand out as being really good?
So that's a really difficult one, because also, you have to have a passion as well. The training is massive, because without that training, if they're not feeding that down to staff, but carrying out the work for them, it needs to be uniform, this business, and training, passion for their clients, loads. I could be here all day. What would stand out to me?
So the people listening to this want some hints. So they're going, come on, tell me what I need to write in my answers to stand out to you.
So with the training one specifically, are we talking, Louise, or any of the awards?
Any of them. What's going to make a good person stand out? How are they going to show you their passion?
Yeah, that's a really difficult one. I think you can just get from even reading, just a small piece and what they write on their business, you're going to be brought into whether, you can read someone's passion, I feel. So I can't really give a clear answer on that. I'm not helping there much, am I? Not giving much away. I'm just going to read it and go, wow, I love this one.
It sounds like you want somebody to get you excited about their business.
Yeah. Draw me in. Make me believe what you've written there.
Yeah. And they're all anonymous, aren't they? So they, people really do have to be kind of quite open and excited, don't they, to make it work?
Yeah, 100%.
So you said that you wanted to become a judge for the public speaking, and you're here on a podcast now. If I'm honest, we get much more public than this. So we had, 289 downloads last week. How's public speaking going to help you in your business?
I just think with the training courses and things, and I pushed myself out to go and meet people that, in this industry, sometimes when you are running the business, it can be quite lonely, especially if you're just sat working from home. You don't, network with people, and because you can't pop up to your local cleaning company and go, oh, would you like a coffee and a chat? It doesn't work like that, does it? So I love going and meeting people. You
talked there about being lonely in your business, and you're a DCBN member. Was that one of the reasons for kind of joining the DCBN for you?
Yeah, 100%. Because like I said, you can't network with the cleaners in your own area. It doesn't happen. You're their competitor. They're not interested. So when I come across the DCBN, that was a game changer, because I've got friends now that I even speak to on the phone, or, people that I've gone on courses with, and I'm going on, another course at the end of the month from the DCBN, and I've met them and I speak to them all the time. So it's been really nice that I've actually made really good friends too, not just networking.
Perfect. And Beckie, what will the future hold? So over the next year, obviously you've done lots of courses now. What's going to happen for you next? What will we be watching you do over the next 6 months to a year?
Yeah, that's a good question, Louise. I'm really, really passionate about the training, and I just really want cleaning companies to take this really seriously. There's no accreditation really in this industry, is there? I just feel like there should be, and I don't know. I want to drive somewhere towards making that happen. It's all in my head at the minute, Louise. So I've got no real answer to that. But in the next 6 months to a year, I just want to, try and drive the cleaning industry to being more recognised, and that people are running it within the right way it should be ran, and the training's really important.
And you attended a course with us only a week ago, didn't you? Were you on the cleaning safety course?
Yes. So I even learned something from that one. All these years in business, and you still taught me how to clean a bathroom, Louise.
Is that the third time you've attended that course? Or is that the first time?
First time.
Or is it first time? So that's open to all DCBN members. But what did you learn about cleaning a bathroom?
Just little things like you said, of, sitting on the toilet and doing those areas first, like the windowsill and the skirting boards and the backs of the doors. That wasn't in my training manual, and I'm thinking they are the most common things missed. So it made perfect sense to change that. Do them first. You can't miss them. You're not going to miss a bath. So do the things you are, more than likely to miss. So yeah, I was like, gosh, she's even taught me how to clean a bathroom after all these years.
Well, that was kind of the idea there, wasn't it? That Louise would kind of present how to clean a bathroom, but actually the plan is that our members will then take that knowledge and train their team better. So
yeah, and I was straight on it. Like, let's change this, because this is going to work so much better.
And that was one of our focus. So I taught you as if you all knew nothing and you were all idiots. And clearly you're not. Clearly you are probably more capable than me. And so we went through real basics. But what it meant is you could take that knowledge and really just apply it when you've got an inexperienced person. It was so easy, wasn't it? Just, here you go, read the back of a bottle of Harpic, and this is how we can make it fun and play games.
Yeah, and you really made me think about steps and making it so simple and easy in a process. I can write that really simply now. It wasn't as simple as you made it come across. You simplified it 100%.
Yeah, Becky, can I confess, and I put this out on social media, 10 years it's taken me to write that process down. I was terrified because it is such a complicated process to write a manual to clean a bath.
No, 100%, I agree. But if you could move on to the kitchen and then the lounge and just, pop them on for me, that'd be great.
So just write your training manuals for you all over it, Becky. Perfect. You should be doing this with all your training. I might recruit you to be writing these now. But yeah, Diane, we find that because we do these webinars and obviously podcasts, not so much with the podcast, but the webinars, definitely we do a lot of research, don't we? And I've got to say, I learn from them every time. I don't sit there and pretend to be an expert. I'm quite honest. I'm going, yeah, I studied this last week to actually get this written.
Yeah. And I think that what we try with the, with our particular training at the DCBN is, what are our members asking right now? What are the questions that are in the groups? And it's often about, how do I train my team? How do I get my customers to pay? How do I we had one with dealing with damages, didn't we? How do I market right now? Because some of the leads have maybe dried up. How do I recruit? All those things, we just try and cover them all off, don't we?
Yeah, and everything changes all the time in this industry, doesn't it? So you've just got to be one step ahead all the time and change it all the time, even your marketing, because it's just, you've got to be better.
So what do you think's coming up? So lots of people are saying, saying it wrong, recession's coming. Rishi Sunak, I was confusing that with. Recession's coming. Now, you've lived through a recession, haven't you? So you must have been in the cleaning industry in the last one. How was it for you?
Don't feel it's ever really over affected us because we're not cheap either. So we are the most expensive in our area. So I feel that the clients we clean for, they're the higher end of salaries anyway, because that's the ones we market for. So I don't feel we're going to drop. I haven't fretted over the recession at all. I haven't even gave it a second thought. I'm not expecting it to affect us.
And it's strange that, isn't it? When you're saying, well, I'm expensive, therefore people won't stop using me, as opposed to people that go, well, I'm cheap. Everyone would want to swap to a cheap cleaner. It's a completely different outlook to what people would expect.
Yeah, no, I'm not expecting it. We're still getting the same amount of leads in. We haven't had any drop off. And, at the end of the day, if £72 a week is going to, enable them to have family time at the weekend, that would sell it to me as a mum of four, 100%. So it's the way that you market, I think, maybe has a massive impact on it too.
Brilliant. And you're good at marketing?
I try.
What's your best tip for marketing? Because lots of people are talking about this now.
Just be consistent. Be consistent, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or you're sending, offers out to your previous clients. Just be consistent. Don't just do it once. If you're sending email marketing out, don't just do one and leave it there. Just be consistent in everything you do.
Perfect. Well, Becky, thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you for having me. It's my very first public speaking.
Ever. Well, you're going to be doing more because you're coming to present the awards, aren't you? When you've got to go through all the applicants first of all, and then you're presenting the awards on the night on January the 26th. So thank you so much. And if anybody wants to ask you any questions, obviously I'm sure they will do. Lots of people can contact you, but it won't help because you'll be anonymized anyway. So that's my job to anonymize everyone. But thank you, Becky. And thank you for sharing all your hints and tips and knowledge about the cleaning industry.
No, thank you for having me.